Part 12. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Xu Yu. Chapter 111. Shuyang City. The war has been going on for 3 days. There was mourning in Shuyang City, and the Ye family who ruled Shuyang City was also bleak. The whole city lord's mansion was mixed with a bloody smell. Ye Zheng, the head of the Ye family, was helpless at this moment, and a twilight gradually appeared in his eyes. He casually sat on the high position of the city lord's mansion, but he did not have the arrogance and demeanor of the past. At this moment, the city lord is more like a vulture with broken wings. Father, our army of zombies suffered heavy losses. More than half of the army of 10,000 zombies was damaged, and the tens of thousands of elites recruited by our Ye family also escaped, died, and 30% to 40% died. According to this trend, within 3 or 5 days, Shuyang City will be dead. Ye Zhao's eldest son, Ye Zhao looked sad at the moment, and the battle armor on his body did not know how many holes were cracked. The war was too tragic. Their Ye family is both lucky and unfortunate. Killing the zombie king made their Ye family instantly rise and become the king of the Shuyang City. A true city lord. How powerful is it to be in charge of an army of 10,000 zombies? Only now, Twilight suddenly appeared. He was targeted by the powerful Wei family. The Wei family dispatched an army of 60,000 zombies, plus an army of hundreds of thousands of survivors. The huge Shuyang City seemed to have lost its former glory in an instant. Big brother, father, in fact, the Wei family has left a way for us to survive. Ye Zheng's second son, Ye, shouted with excitement at the moment. Shut up. Is that a way to survive? Are you going to gamble with your sister's life? Ye Zheng, the city lord of Shuyang City and the head of the Ye family, who was originally located in the position of the city lord, actually roared, and his words were full of anger. Father! What time is it now? The Wei family has said that as long as Meyer is married to the Wei family's Wei Ming, our Ye family will be able to live. We can still retain our independence and independence. We can even cooperate with powerful people. The Wei family has formed an alliance. Why don't you agree to such a good thing? Is it possible that you have become mayor, and you have to let the entire Ye family? Will the entire Shuyang City be buried with you? Ye had a ferocious look on his face, and murderous intent condensed in his eyes. Obviously it is a war with no hope in sight, and I don't know why my father insists on fighting it. Is this what he wants to see? If the only remaining force of the Ye family is finished, the Ye family becomes the target of public criticism, and there is no longer the capital for negotiation? Ye's breathing gradually became rapid, and he did not want to die in the city. In the end of the world, the strong is king. He felt that he should have a broader future. Second brother. Don't say a word. Let Meyer marry that beast, I'd rather die in battle. Let's talk about it. Do you really think Wei Ming really married Meyer? He's a drunkard, not drinking. Ye Zhao, the eldest of the Ye family, shook his head, who couldn't see the Wei family's petty little cat. If the Ye family really surrendered, would they still have good fruit to eat? Then what should we do? We can't be trapped here, right? This won't work, that won't work, why can't you give it a try? In case the Wei family is trustworthy. Ye, the second oldest of the Ye family, was still unwilling to give up his idea. Hasn't Meyer been contacting the surrounding cities for help? Let's stick to it. Ye Zhao closed his eyes, he couldn't give up until the last moment. Ask for help? Are there any reinforcements now? It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Who dares to offend the Wei family now? If you are like this, the Ye family will die sooner or later. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Xu Yu. Chapter 112. Outside Shuyang City, in the military camp of the Wei family. Wei Ming looked at the battle map in front of him with excitement. To open up the territory and expand the land, to honor the princes, to achieve the emperor's hegemony, this is the innate dream of every man. He is also included. Before the end of the world, he had no such opportunity. After the end of the world, the opportunity has come, and the opportunity is right in front of him, and he is not willing to give up. His eyes were full of excitement and urgency. He wants to turn it all into reality. He looked at his father Wei Sun, and when his father developed the hegemony and became the real emperor, he would be the worthy prince. At this moment, he is full of energy. It was just the Shuyang City in front of him, that stopped him for 3 days. Damn Shuyang City! Damn Ye family! When the city is broken, the entire Ye family will be slaughtered. When our army to defend the country arrives, shouldn't you be open and honest right away? Choose to surrender immediately? What are you fighting back there? Waste my time and let me lose my troops. Just abominable. Wei Ming frowned in dissatisfaction. This Shuyang City is extremely difficult to attack. They seem to have countless healing cards forever, just a group of wounded and maimed, and another group rushed up. This strategic reserve is too strong. Have you checked it out? How come there are so many healing cards in the Ye family? It makes our siege plan so slow. Wei Ming glanced at the investigators who hurried in and asked angrily. Young country lord, according to the information I have received, it is said that Miss Yes Meyer personally went to Zhongcheng to purchase a batch of healing cards, which amounted to tens of thousands. In addition, there are also a large batch of serum cards. The investigators lowered their heads, not daring to hide anything. Zhongcheng? Where did Zhongcheng get so many healing cards? Even our Weiguo never had so many healing cards in reserve. Wei Ming frowned, and there was a look of thought in his eyes. It is said that there is a magical card shop in Zhongcheng, which has endless serum cards and healing cards. As long as you have magic crystals, you can buy them in large quantities. The investigators continued. Joke. How can such a place exist? There are endless serum cards and healing cards, this is impossible. It is estimated that the Ye family tinkered with it to deceive the military. Wei Ming waved his hand and didn't take it seriously. No. What's impossible? Even the apocalypse came without saying it? And all kinds of strange cards. Who would have imagined it before the apocalypse? Ming-er, don't underestimate it. This Zhongcheng may be really a little weird. This Zhongcheng city's main name is Fang Fan. He is number 1 in both the Legion's battle power list and the personal battle power list. From this point of view, it's not impossible that there are some strange things. Wei Sun, the head of the Wei family, suddenly came over. He was wearing a red armor, his face showed a calm look, and he looked mature and prudent. Dad, don't make that Fang Fan too mythical. I guess he's just a lucky survivor. How can his legion be strong? After all, it's just a legion. When our army pushes past, he can only kneel and surrender. Wei Ming pouted, with a look of disdain on his face. For existences stronger than himself, he will subconsciously express contempt. Anyway, it's better to be careful. Send more messengers to Shuyang City and ask the Ye family to surrender as soon as possible. Promise more. After we enter the city, what will we get? Wei Sun was also helpless to this son, turned his head and ordered. Dad, that Ye Meyer. Humph. Occupy Yuchen, what woman do you want? You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 113. This is the Acropolis, It looks quite majestic. Fang Fan slaughtered the zombies along the way, and it took almost a day for the nearly 10,000 team to arrive at the Acropolis. As expected, the defenses of the Acropolis were empty. According to Satan's information, there are almost 5,000 zombies in the city, and there are tens of thousands of survivors. But no matter how empty it is, it still seems to be stronger than Fang Fan's army. Overall, the difficulty of attacking is still somewhat. Acropolis, City Lord's Mansion. There is an army of zombies attacking the Acropolis. It's enough to check it out. Isn't it the army of the Lord? Wei Tao stared at the scout in front of him and couldn't help showing a nervous look. The Lord and young Lord took the army to attack Shuyang City, and the defense of the Acropolis was completely handed over to him. As a member of the Wei family, he is also the younger brother of Wei Sun, the head of the Wei family, so it is only natural that he should be given the responsibility of staying behind. In addition, he was also awarded the position of the Lord of the Acropolis, which is considered a high authority in the entire Wei family. Reporting to the Lord of the city, it is not the team of the king. Looking at the direction of the march, it seems that Zhang Cheng is attacking. The total strength is less than 10,000. The scout answered honestly, Wei Tao's nervous heart, suddenly relieved. Less than 10,000 people, what is it? Haha, those people in Zhangcheng seem to die. Is it possible that the thought of my army going to conquer Shuyang City is profitable? It's ridiculous. It's really ridiculous. Now in my Acropolis, there are enough soldiers and food, and without an army of 50,000 zombies, it is impossible to attack the ground. Order the army of 5,000 zombies in the city to prepare for battle at all times. Wei Tao waved his hand and continued to lie on the high position of the city lord, leisurely enjoying the service of the surrounding beauties. Lord City Lord, do you want to recruit survivors to join the temporary army? Prepare for war. The think tank on the side frowned and began to suggest. You guys, what are you afraid of? Our city is strong and strong. When they come to attack the Acropolis, our zombie army will be enough to keep them out of the city. Even if the war is at a stalemate, it is not impossible to recruit temporarily. Humph. I want to annihilate this Zhangcheng army under the Acropolis. This is also a great achievement. The Lord and the young Lord have been planning to capture Zhangcheng. Wei Tao narrowed his eyes, as if he suddenly thought of something. When he came to the Acropolis, Fang Fan was quite curious. The defense in the city was too lax. Even the city gate was closed just now calmly, as if they didn't take them seriously at all. Boss, their defense is so slack, I lead the troops up and give them a tug. Tisk tisk tisk, we really picked up a big bargain this time. Zhou Kaishan walked over with an oath, and even a playboy like him felt that the defense of the Acropolis was really weak. Fang Fan thought about it first, and he even thought, is there something tricky here? What conspiracy is hiding? There are pockets already set up and waiting for him to get in. At first, Fang Fan also thought about sending the army up to pretend to be defeated for a few rounds, and then lure the Acropolis army out of the city to fight. But now, these ideas are all gone. Ada, lead an army of zombies to attack the city from the front. The Unicorn Legion cooperates with the Zombie Legion to launch an attack. Satan, Hans, cooperate with each other. The demons carry the Gothic machine gunners to the city wall, and the shooting takes advantage of the terrain. Fang Fan is lying directly on Satan's back, and he will go to the city to fight in person. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 114. Fang Fan didn't use any tactics in this battle, because he felt that according to the current situation, he could just push it directly. The sound of the war drums sounded leisurely, and Ada led the zombie army to carry the siege ladder and push the siege vehicle to start a rapid attack. These siege equipment are extremely simple, but attacking the Acropolis is enough. The battle starts now. Fang Fan, Galen, Demon Legion, and Gothic machine gunners formed an assault team and started a full-scale attack. Fang Fan grabbed Satan's two wings and quickly flew into the air. Galen also dragged a demon's feet and quickly flew up the city wall. Although the city wall is high, there is no pressure on the soaring ability of the demons. Immediately afterward, several Gothic machine gunners were also transported up the city walls. Naturally, there are long-range attacking units on the city wall to attack Fang Fan and the others, but their attack power is quite a bit, and they cannot cause fatal damage to Fang Fan at all. Quickly, the battle will start. The first person to climb the city wall, not a member of the assault team, but the three-headed dog of hell, Black. Although Xiao He couldn't fly, his claws were too sharp, and his body was relatively light, so he grabbed the wall and rushed up to the city wall, killing the zombie army and survivors on the city wall. The corners of Fang Fan's mouth rose. Although this little Black eats and drinks excessively, he still fights fiercely. After eating so many magic crystals, Xiao He, who is a three-headed dog of hell, has been promoted to the first level again, and has reached the 4-star level. There are a lot of zombie legions on the city wall, and there are also some survivors of the Acropolis sporadically. But when the commandos climbed to the city wall, their fate was already predetermined. Galen and Black lead the way. One is 6-star combat power, and the other is 4-star combat power. Among these zombie legions, they are completely crushed. Immediately, the Gothic machine gunners began to quickly organize the shooting, choo-choo. The Gothic machine gunners are a 3-star army. The power of their strafing can basically ignore some 2-star zombies and 2-star awakeners. Ordinary Samsung zombies and Samsung awakened will be seriously injured if they are shot. Invincible melee, long-range suppression, this battle has no need to continue. A 3-star zombie suddenly rushed towards Fang Fan, and Fang Fan stabbed him a few times and was killed. Fang Fan now has the title of Natural Enemy of Zombies. The natural enemy of zombies, it has a deterrent effect on zombies, and the combat power of zombies of the same level or lower is reduced by 30%. This is also Fang Fan's reward for killing the first zombie king. On the wall of the Acropolis, there was a storm of blood and rain, and the high-level combat power directly crushed it and pushed it horizontally. The main mansion of the Acropolis. Wei Tao impatiently got up from the bed of a pre-apocalyptic singer, thinking of the wonderful scene just now. Wei Tao's mood became more and more unhappy. "What's the matter? Didn't I tell you not to disturb me?" Wei Tao roared at the scouts. "Lord City Lord, something has happened. Jiangqing's army is invincible, and Dongcheng Gate is about to fall. They're so powerful. It's like a bunch of demons." No. They are a bunch of demons. Our army of 5,000 zombies is almost lost." The scout reported in a panic, raised his head subconsciously, and saw a good spring light on the bed. His eyes lit up. "What? Waste. It's all waste. Call the survivors. Defend the Acropolis for me. Divine system of the strongest card supplier in the end times, Doomsday strongest card supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 115. Wei Tao's face changed greatly, and he even got up from the bed. His breathing became much heavier. The situation at the moment, far beyond his expectations, not even within his control. Losing the Acropolis, his head is basically equivalent to moving. Full speed support. Hurry up. Stop the ink. They have a small army, only 10,000. We still have a chance. There is still a chance. As long as we seize the opportunity, we can completely eliminate them in the Acropolis. This is a great achievement. Call together all the elites of the Wei family, and give me the top." Wei Tao put on a few clothes in a panic, and there was cold sweat on his forehead. As the lord of the Acropolis, if there is any loss in the Acropolis, he is absolutely unable to escape the responsibility. The current plan is to completely drive the invaders out. By the way. And the granary, send someone to guard the granary. Wei Tao shouted while running. As for the beautiful figure on the bed, he didn't have the heart to appreciate it at the moment. Acropolis, East Gate. The commandos seized the head of the city, and soon opened the city gate, and Ada led the zombie army to swarm in. The East Gate has been set. Lord, the enemy army has assembled tens of thousands of survivors to besiege us, and they want to surround us here. Satan landed from a high altitude. Because of the convenience of being able to vacate, the Demon Legion was not only a good scout but also a good scout. Tens of thousands of survivors. A mob. Leading the Demon Army, the Unicorn Army, the Yellow Turban Leader Army, and the Gothic Machine Gunner Army. The Zombie Legion follows closely, and we will take them all at the gate of Dongcheng. Occupy the favorable terrain of the East City Gate and defend the East City Gate. Fang Fan waved his hand with a look of disdain on his face. Originally, if the Acropolis had tightly closed the gates, it would be inconvenient for him to be the siege party. Now defend the city, that's easy. It's totally possible, ambush on the spot. Occupying the advantage of high altitude, fighting against these ordinary survivors who have not completed the awakening process is completely crushing. The army of zombies began to take their place under the leadership of Dida. These zombies are not just melee combat, some mutant zombies have even awakened the fire-type talent and ice-type talent, making it easy to kill at a distance. For example, the 3-star zombie next to Fang Fan can condense ice arrows and spit them out from his mouth, with extraordinary combat power. The Gothic Machine Gunner Corps is not only powerful, but also has a very fast scanning speed of machine guns. It is not just a joke. The bloody war has started. Wei Tao led the army of more than 40,000 survivors who had finally gathered and rushed towards the East Gate. At this moment, his forehead was covered in cold sweat, and the wind was blowing, and he suddenly felt like he was swaying. Looking at the surrounding survivors armed with weapons and firearms, he felt a little calmer. In fact, according to the scale of the Acropolis, there were hundreds of thousands of survivors inside, but the war broke out, and the group slipped away. But in Wei Tao's view, 40,000 troops were enough. After all, the number of enemy troops who came to attack was only less than 10,000. They're just taking a chance, the battle will be finalized later. All will be buried under the fire of death. The confidence in Wei Tao's eyes gradually showed. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 116. Attack. Under Wei Tao's order, a team of more than 40,000 survivors who were temporarily recruited launched a full-scale attack under Wei Tao's order, and the momentum of the attack was particularly strong. Among them, the elites of the Wei family's direct line are the core, with tens of thousands of troops to charge in an all-round way. Chug-chu. Gunshots, wailing, the sound of the ear. They haven't even reached the Dongcheng Gate yet, the more than 2,000 elites of the Wei family's lineage in the forward are almost dead. Demons that fell from the sky, they wielded their sharp claws and ripped open their hearts. Heroic and majestic unicorns, they launched death charges one after another, and the sharp formations they organized were simply unstoppable. Under the leadership of Guan Hai, the Yellow Turban Commander Corps, wearing golden armor and stomach, is invincibly charging. And that silver-armored warrior wielding a great sword, he's too powerful. With one sword slashed, dozens of awakened were all killed. Under your feet, strange creatures with 3 dog heads are attacking frantically, rushing towards you, biting off your neck, and then disappearing again. The army was defeated like a mountain. The elites of the Wei family in the front row were torn open several times. The survivor armies on both sides also fled in all directions. Apocalypse, it's about survival. The price offered by the Wei family is very high, but it is necessary to have a life to enjoy it. Protecting the world for the family, is it their duty? These survivors are not the Wei family at all, and they were even bullied by the Wei family for a time. If they killed it in one go, they would be happy to get the reward. But now, as if not so. Continuing to rush forward, we will continue the fate of those Wei family's elite direct descendants. The panic of death wakes everyone up. This is such a special place, they are all heavenly soldiers and heavenly generals. Run! I don't know who took the lead in fleeing first. One person shouted like this, 10 people heard it, and then there were thousands. 10,000 people. The rout has become a wave. Rush! Rush for me! Run away! You don't want to live. Rush up, I have a reward. Kill it! Wei Tao Hesti, who was dispatching the command behind, shouted terribly, and he wanted to make these people turn their heads and continue to kill the enemy. It's just at this moment, only a few hundred Wei family's elite direct descendants are guarding him. He was holding a submachine gun, but he suddenly dropped a few deserters who escaped, but this could not stop the current rout pattern. This windy escape is not something he can decide. City Lord, withdraw. Acropolis, it's cold. Several Wei family direct descendants dragged Wei Tao to run wild. At this moment, Wei Tao was like a puppet, looking a little numb. He didn't struggle, just ran away quietly. Send someone to burn the granary. It's all burned. Wei Tao's complexion suddenly turned rosy, and then he let out a strange cry. Lord City Lord, that granary, but the foundation of our Wei family. Burning the granary, what are we going to eat? The entourage was shocked and felt that Wei Tao must have been stimulated. How could he say such a thing? This situation, isn't it killing you? It's burned. Stay here, fund the enemy. There was a vicious look in Wei Tao's eyes. Anyway, the Acropolis can't be defended anymore, what should come, will come. Instead of leaving it to the enemy, it's better to burn it all down. The Acropolis was lost, and most of his life was lost. Of course he is the younger brother of Wei Sun, the king of Wei, but such a big mistake, he panicked too. His own brother may send him to the execution ground himself. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 117. Lord, it's all cleaned up. The City Lord's mansion has also been occupied by us. There is also the granary. Fortunately, you urgently sent the demon army and the unicorn army over there. When someone wanted a fire, they set the granary and were rescued in the end. There are countless grains in the granary of this Acropolis, enough for the entire Zhongcheng people to eat for decades. Galen came over and reported the situation in the city. Fang Fan nodded, all this was within his expectations. Fang Fan came to the third floor of the main mansion of the Acropolis, looked at the crystal of the city master in front of him, and fell into a brief contemplation. To capture the Acropolis, you can choose occupy, destroy, sack. Occupation, completely occupy the city, and you will become the city lord of the Acropolis. Destroy the city lord's mansion, and the Acropolis will become a land without owners. Looting, loot the Acropolis and leave immediately. Boss, this Acropolis is really good. It's managed by their Wei family. I think we can just occupy it. Hey, then we will occupy another mid-city, and we can also become a marquis and be conferred a marquis. Zhou Kaishan's face was full of excitement, and he won a big victory. It is normal to have this kind of excitement. Order the entire army, sack the Acropolis, transport the grain from the granary to Zhongcheng, and then we will evacuate. Fang Fan narrowed his eyes and said very firmly. My CAO, Boss, what are you talking about? Acropolis is such a good city, let's not want it anymore? Everyone is busy capturing the city everywhere. You're good, the city you got has been given up. If you don't give it to me, let me have the addiction of being the city owner. Zhou Kaishan's face was full of pain. He felt that Fang Fan was too prodigal. This Acropolis is a big city on the same level as Zhongcheng. If you want, Zhongcheng will send it to you. After 2 days, the hundreds of thousands of troops defending the country will attack, and your Zhou family will guard this dead city. By the way, do you want to inform the head of the Zhou family? Let your father send the elites of the Zhou family to help you defend the city. The corner of Fang Fan's mouth showed a playful look, and the corner of Zhou Kaishan's mouth twitched. Let's forget it, let's stay away from this place of right and wrong. I don't want to be a city lord at all. Zhou Kaishan's face showed a look of resentment. He was just a little playful, but his mind was not stupid. Destroy. Fang Fan made a decision resolutely. After he made his decision, the crystal of the city lord collapsed, and the entire city lord's mansion also disappeared. As the city master crystal vanished, a high-grade magic crystal suddenly appeared on the ground. Fang Fan counted it, and there were almost 1,000 high-grade magic crystals. There was a burst of joy in Fang Fan's eyes. This is so special, is there such an invisible benefit? Destroying a city lord's mansion in a big city can still get 1,000 high-grade magic crystals, but one day the labor and capital used the magic crystals, and knocked their own city lord crystals. Fang Fan pouted, thinking in his heart. Of course, just thinking about it, Fang Fan couldn't do this. According to the rules of the god of the last days. Destroy Aothea crystal, you can get 1,000 top-grade magic crystals as a reward. Destroy Midtown crystal, you can get 500 top-grade magic crystals as a reward. Destroy Small Town crystals, you can get 100 top-grade magic crystals as a reward. The City Lord crystal is destroyed, and the zombie army corresponding to the city will all self-destruct. Correspondingly, if you want to reshape the City Master crystal, you need to spend 10 times the price. That is to say, to restore a large city crystal, it takes 10,000 high-grade magic crystals. And even if it is restored, the zombie army will not be able to return, and it needs to be recruited by itself, which will cost a lot of magic crystals. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 118. City Lord Fang Fan, there is too much grain in the granary of the Acropolis, and we have too few manpower. Even if the passage is opened up between the Acropolis and our Zhongcheng, the trucks will have to drive for several hours. It goes on like this, we can't finish our luck at all. Zhao Yaxin came over with a helpless look on her face. This Acropolis granary lives up to its name, there is so much food. Don't worry, I have sent someone to Zhongcheng to let the Zhou family and the Zhao family collect all the trucks and cars, they should be here soon. You only need to transport the food to the border of Zhongcheng, and mobilize hundreds of thousands of people in the entire Zhongcheng to deliver the food. I estimate that the delivery will be completed in 2 days. And it will take some time for the main force of the Wei family to withdraw from Shuyang City and return to the Acropolis. We can have a time difference with them. At this moment, Shuyang City, 100 miles away. The defenders on the Shuyang City tower stared at these enemy zombies who self-destruct one by one. Almost in an instant, this row of zombie legions that attacked the tower were killed in battle. Originally, the defenders of Shuyang City were already struggling to survive, and they seemed to be under great pressure. They were almost about to be broken through the last line of defense by the zombie army of Wei Guo. But when this happened suddenly, no one could stand it. I see AO, what's the situation? These zombies? Crazy. I don't know either, is it possible that there are some powerful people in our city who tempt these zombies to self-destruct? Hee hee, what the hell? It's a good thing anyway, we finally defended Shuyang City. Great patriotic army. The zombie army collectively exploded, people in Shuyang City could see it, and Wei Sun and Wei Ming naturally also saw it. Wei Ming was taken aback, and his face was horrified. He had never imagined this kind of magic. Wei Sun, the lord of the state of Wei, was terrified at first, but in an instant, his complexion changed greatly. The Acropolis crystal has been destroyed. Such a voice appeared out of thin air in my mind, only Wei Sun, the lord of Wei, could hear it. Almost in an instant, Wei Sun spat out a mouthful of old blood. "Father, what's wrong? What's wrong with you? Are you okay? It won't be the god of the end of the world, want to kill us." Wei Ming swallowed his saliva and pretended to be not afraid of the sky on weekdays, but at this moment, he was really panicked. Unpredictable things like this are the most terrifying. The Acropolis crystal was destroyed. Wei Sun clutched his chest and closed his eyes tightly. He needed to relieve his heavy heart. Acropolis. The second uncle is not guarding the city master's mansion, how could the second uncle do such a thing? Wei Ming's first thought was that there was some civil unrest in the Acropolis. "I'm afraid someone attacked the Acropolis. Wei Tao is a fool. Lost the Acropolis." Soon, there were military intelligence reports, and the news of the change of ownership of the Acropolis spread throughout the army. Wei Sun took a deep breath. Although he had already guessed the result, he still felt an overwhelming sense of anger when he heard it with his own ears. "Can't wait to tear it all up. Zhang Cheng. You bastard. Fang Fan, the city lord of Zhangcheng, is so brave. Dare to compete with our country? Is he crazy? Doesn't he know how much he weighs? Damn it. Father, we have led the army to pacify Zhangcheng. Give him a fatal blow. Kill this Fang Fan." You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 119. Fang Fan watched the convoy slowly rush towards Zhangcheng, his face gradually showing joy. Not bad, very good, quite good. These trucks were full of food looted from the Acropolis, and then supported Zhangcheng to solve the crisis in Zhangcheng. It has been carried several times before and after, and this is the last one. There is indeed a lot of grain in the granary of the Acropolis, but it cannot withstand the people of Zhangcheng to carry it. All the cars and trucks in Zhangcheng and Acropolis were requisitioned, even Zhou Kaishan's local Tyrant Gold sports car was no exception. Except for the drivers who carried the food with all their strength, the remaining hundreds of thousands of Zhangcheng survivors simply drove a small wooden cart to deliver the food. In 2 days, the entire Acropolis granary was completely evacuated. There are still some survivors in the Acropolis, but they naturally dare not do anything to stop Fangfan at this moment. The Acropolis city lord and those city guards have all fled. They are ordinary people. The most important thing is to save the dog's life. There are even a large number of people in the Acropolis who feel that the Acropolis is already cold, even the food is gone, and sooner or later it will become an abandoned city. So I simply joined the army of transporting food, and then I wanted to go to Zhangcheng to settle down. Fang Fan, there are still quite a few people from the Acropolis who want to defect to Zhangcheng. This is a good opportunity to strengthen the power. Obviously, in addition to the army of zombies, the army of survivors is also an important part of the combat power in the last days. A city's evaluation of its strength is largely based on the number and strength of survivors. Zhao Yaxin walked over in a hurry, looking very excited. In this battle, Zhangcheng not only got a large amount of food, but also increased a group of population. It is indeed a good thing for the survivors of the Acropolis to come to serve, but they must be strictly interrogated. The spies of the Acropolis cannot be mixed in. Also, separate a part of the land in Zhangcheng for these Acropolis survivors to live in, let's put it next to the city lord's mansion. If there is any riot, I can take action in time. Fang Fan seemed very calm. This kind of thing need to be seen from two aspects. Increasing the population is equivalent to increasing the comprehensive strength of the city. Relatively speaking, the card shop can also have more customers. Ding. It is detected that the host's power is growing, and the immediate task open a branch is released. Task introduction, open a branch in any medium-sized or above city within 10 days. Successful reward, the host is upgraded to a second-tier supplier, and the share ratio is increased to 20%. Failure penalty, downgrade to a zero-tier supplier, and the share will be reduced to 1%. Note, as a great supplier, you should continue to work hard. The sudden system task made Fang Fan feel stunned for a while. Open a branch? Also restricting the requirement to be in a medium-sized city or above. Fang Fan thought about it, or open another family in Zhangcheng. Ding. A city, rated to open only one card shop. Fang Fan's face is dumbfounded. Is there such a request? However, the reward for a successful mission is still very generous. Upgrade to a second-tier supplier and increase the share ratio. In fact, this is very good. Fang Fan has been complaining that the share ratio is too shameless. There are only a few medium-sized and above cities around Zhangcheng. I just destroyed the Acropolis. The Wei family can't wait to strip me alive. Can I still open a shop? Other cities don't seem to have any friendship. Divine system of the strongest card supplier in the end times, Doomsday strongest card supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 120. Fang Fan won an overall victory and returned to Zhangcheng, and was naturally welcomed by a very high standard. For a large amount of grain to be stationed in Zhangcheng, the chaos within Zhangcheng has been effectively resolved. Fang Fan issued a decree that as long as they are from Zhangcheng, each person will be guaranteed a pound of rations every day. Of course, the premise is to spend magic crystals to buy, or use equivalent cards to exchange. For those old and weak who don't have the energy to pay these expenses for the time being, I can help the city lord's mansion to do something neat and tidy to make up for it. In fact, under the tide of the end times, there is basically no absolute old and weak. Most of those who survived were young and strong or beautiful women. Lord City Lord, after statistics, about 30,000 people from Acropolis came to our Zhangcheng. More than 95% are young and strong. In addition, their resettlement location is not far from the city lord's mansion, and everything has been done. Zhao Zhen came over and reported the resettlement of the refugees in the Acropolis. Fang Fan has no experience in things like this, but Zhao Zhen seems to be very skilled in these things. In addition, the messenger from Shuyang City is here. With a strange look on Zhao Zhen's face, he continued to report. After Fang Fan captured the Acropolis, the Weiguo army under Shuyang City didn't have much intention of attacking the city, and then they chose to evacuate. The danger of Shuyang City's destruction has been eliminated, so they came to Zhang City immediately. And came to Zhangcheng one step earlier than Fang Fan. The messenger of Shuyang City, let him in. Fang Fan's eyes lit up, he said suddenly. He has been thinking about opening a branch. Perhaps this Shuyang City is an opportunity? City Lord Fang Fan, we meet again. Yamir walked over, her soft figure was undoubtedly revealed. Compared to a few days ago, Yamir looked a little tired and lazy, but it added a softness to her. Hello, the card last time, is it useful? What else do you want to buy this time? Fang Fan nodded politely, and had to say, talking to a beautiful woman is still very comfortable, at least it's eye-catching. The lord of the city is really mercenary. Is Mayor coming to you just to buy cards? Can't it be because of the longing, come and visit the lord of the city? Yeah, Mayor said softly, that naturally charming posture, few men can keep it. What a stunner. Oh, is that so? Mayor is very good. Fang Fan smiled and suddenly took a few steps forward, pulling the distance between him and Yamair to the limit. Fang Fan could even feel the fresh breath. It's delicious. Yamair's face was instantly rosy. She took a few steps back secretly, and spat secretly. The man didn't have a good thing. Okay, let's talk about something. Fang Fan smiled, returned to the seat, and took a slight sip of fresh green tea. This time, I am thanking the Lord City Lord on behalf of my father Yezeng and the entire Shiyang city. If the city Lord Fang hadn't attacked the Waikan in time, I'm afraid my Shiyang city would have been conquered by the Waiguo army. Now they have been attacked on both sides and have retreated to the Acropolis. Just next, they may be pouring their anger on Zhongcheng. If City Lord Fang has any needs, we will definitely support Shiyang city. Yamair spoke so powerfully, the flattery on her face disappeared, replaced by a womanly demeanor.